Everybody ready?
Yep.
We will now begin the regular Norton City Council meeting of Monday, October 20th, 2025. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, Lord, as we gather here today, we just thank you for the opportunity to lead, Lord, and we just ask you to help us to make wise, sound decisions. Lord, thank you for our police and firefighters and our troops that support our freedom and fight for our freedom every day. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Lukens?
Mr. Lukens is excused.
Mr. Towsley?
Here.
Mr. Ader?
Here.
Ms. Lee?
Here.
Mr. Mowry?
Mr. Bowery is excused.
Mr. Harbert?
Here.
Mr. DeHarpart?
Here. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda for two reasons. One, there were some service repairs for some lintels in the service garage, so we need to add those to the legislation this evening. And also, we're going to be doing a resolution of appreciation for a resident who brought forth some information to us for the data center, and so we want to reward him this evening with a resolution letter.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to amend the agenda. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. DeHarpart?
Yes.
Mr. Harbert?
Yes.
Mr. Towsley?
Yes.
Mr. Ader?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Thank you. We will move on to communications from the public, and we will start with Daryl Brake, Executive Director for Summit County Community Partnership. Thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you for having me.
You brought a big audience.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I've watched on the internet periodically, and so I appreciate the enthusiasm of my fellow residents. And I say fellow residents because I've been a member of Resident of Norton for over 13 years.
Nice.
And it's been a great time. And I appreciate that, appreciate the community. However, I'm here to talk about issue one. That would be the levy that's going to be on the ballot, and asking if you might consider passing issue one. It's the Alcohol and Drug and Mental Health Board's levy. Comes up every 6 years. The agency that I work for, Summit County Community Partnership, we are the county's Drug Abuse Prevention Coalition, and we're funded by the ADM Board. Actually, the agency started in 1990 from a grant that was written by the ADM Board, the Health Department, and the City of Akron. There was research that showed that communities around the country that had coalitions and individuals that sat around the table and talked about the drug problem, they fared better against the drug problem. And so I came along as a volunteer. I was actually an insurance agent, volunteered, and here I am 34 years later, the executive director.
Nice.
I like the boots on the ground. But that being said, the ADM Board, in addition to that being a part of my life, establishing the coalition, it also is the organization that provides mental health issues, a broad range of mental health issues through over 30 agencies. If you go to the website, admboard.org, I'd like you to go to supportadm.org. On the website, you will see all the work that the ADM Board does. But just to mention a few things, they have a crisis center in which individuals that are struggling and coming in to need help, they can go there for help. There's detox there. There's also the 988 number that you can call for services. There's an outreach team, it's called Scout, that comes out in the community when there are individuals that have had struggles with substance abuse and maybe they overdosed and did not die. The Scout team, which is a group of diverse background people that come and actually talk with the family and individual and try and get them to make some lifestyle changes. The crisis intervention training is CIT. You probably have heard of that. That's something that the ADM Board is very much a part of. I want you to know that the levy accounts for 77% of the total money for the ADM Board. So it's a significant amount of money that we use. When I say we, I mean all of us use to fight mental health issues. And so I think that would be something we really would like to continue. This ballot is issue one on the ballot, and I don't want to belabor the point, but please do a little reading up on it and see. It's a good thing for the county. If I would entertain any questions.
Anyone have any questions? We appreciate you coming out
Thank you
and
for the time.
sharing with us, and
Thank
good
you.
luck.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
At this time, I'm going to step forward before we continue the communications from the public and give the resolution of appreciation to James Helmick. You can come over here. So council has a resolution of appreciation for James Helmick. This resolution of appreciation to James Helmick for his assistance to the Norton Community City Council. Whereas Norton City Council does hereby acknowledge, honor, and commend Mr. James Helmick for his research and fact-finding efforts that assisted council to execute its duties. Whereas James Helmick performed an informed, reliable, and consistent manner in dealings with the employees, residents, and council of the city of Norton. We want to thank you. Let's give him another round of applause. It's well deserved.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks again, Mr. Helmick. Welcome. Well, we will now do the public comment section here. First up is Edward Stevens. Please step up to the microphone that I twisted the wrong way and pull it back to you so we can hear you. State your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
My name is Edward E. Stevens, and I live here in Barberton, just 4 blocks due east of the property that is under consideration for the data center. And since I'm within like a half mile or less of that property, those of us Barberton residents in that area are going to feel the effects of that data center. And so I'm here to encourage us to do our due diligence and research and make sure this is a very wise decision. I grew up in Texas, and I worked around heavy equipment on the farm, and so I know what these huge motors sound like a half a mile or more away. And they produce a low-level vibration, a very low-level sound which can be felt and heard, a half mile away or more. And if those are going to be running 24/7, that means they're going to be running while we're asleep at night. And it's going to make a lot of us older people who don't sleep very well anyway to lose a lot of sleep. And so I would encourage you to take that in consideration. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edward Stevens. Next up is Miss Michelle Yasko. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
My name is Michelle Yasko. My address is 3717 Ora Avenue. All right. Thank you for allowing us to have the town meeting. As was very evident by the crowd we had, our citizens and neighbors showed their concern and opposition to a data center in Norton through their voices, not with any physicality. We try to show respect by giving civil and being respectful. On October 17th, we saw the letter from Mr. DeHarpart and thank him for recognizing the residents of Sherman Heights for our conduct in this process. We were hopeful this was the end of the data center in Norton. Then we saw the notice from info@qhpcnorton.com which reads from October 17th, Data Center Update. The investment team has heard the concerns of the residents and will implement changes necessary to ensure that all parties that are affiliated with the effort align with our values of integrity and candor. We are in the process of engaging a new development team to oversee the project. We remain committed to building a highly secure, highly efficient data center in Ohio without the negative impacts on the energy grid, natural resources, and the community. What does this mean? Are you still considering building a data center in the same site? As concerned citizens, we hope Norton City Council will follow Barberton City Council. At 11:15 on October 18th, Thomas Bebe Heideck, Barberton Council at Large, wrote, I am requesting legislation to institute a moratorium on data centers within Barberton. We have precious little land, and in light of the information gathered from our neighboring city of Norton, these centers have no place in the area that could be potential targets. I am requesting one reading and emergency language. We understand tax dollars are important to you. However, we pray the health and safety of the citizens you represent are more important. Thank you for allowing me to speak
Thank you.
tonight.
Appreciate that. I'm trying to read the, was that Sue Dayton? Susan Dayton?
I want to thank everybody that came out to voice their opinion against this proposal. And some of them kept an open mind, but there's no benefit to it, as I said before. This company with Dale Hobby, I see as a front man. And he stands to make a lot of money selling this project. And he's also involved with the Silent Partners Consortium group. I tried to research them. I couldn't find any information or any of the members. They're technology companies, and not only are they technology companies, I heard there were bankers involved. I even tried to get Denny Little from Raymond James to help me research it. He couldn't even find much about these companies. But if they're technology companies, about 2 years ago, two and a half years ago, Vistra Company came up. I looked to see who was controlling the mine. And Vistra's out of Irving, Texas. And I'm suspicious that they could be one of the partners. And I wondered why they come up with PPG Limestone Mine. Well, they do several forms of energy. They do solar, battery storage. They also do LP gas, and they also do nuclear. What better place to put it than the mine 2,200 feet below us? If you really think about it, it's out of sight, out of mind. This is only the first phase of the building that's going to go in, and I don't trust it one bit. Why else would they put it in a densely populated area? So I have a better idea for them. I think what they should do is take that project to Avon Lake in their own backyard. There's plenty of water there. They can't suck any wells dry if they try to use our wells. And not only that, there's plenty of mines. There's even one on Kelly's Island, and it's a limestone mine, I believe. They've got a limestone quarry there and glacial grooves up there. So I think they should just put it in their own backyard and see how the people there like it. And I think the city should buy the mine, and then in the future, the stewards that watch over the city, that no one can ever try to use that mine for any purposes like that. Because I really believe that's their real intention. Only they're not going to tell us. What they say and do are two different things. And no amount of money, no matter how much they try to buy the city, buy the schools, is going to be any comparison to what they're going to do to our lives here. And I appreciate Barberton coming. Some people are here. I heard from Doylestown. Wherever you're from, we sure appreciate you all coming tonight. There's my neighbor Randy. He's in Norton, and he's in Barberton too. So whether you brought a sign, whether you came to the meetings and voiced your opinions, we appreciate it. We just hope the council's going to listen. Because it's, like I said, it's all common sense, this whole deal. And no amount of money. There's nothing that benefits the people directly. It's just hazards and it highly dangerous. I didn't even mention the substation that's there nearby. I didn't mention the power lines that go behind. If our grid's gone, how long is it gonna take to put a new grid up? I mean, we won't have to worry if there's an explosion. I mean, think about it. We're talking natural gas. We're talking highly explosive propane gas. I think they're still gonna truck that in, or not truck it in, put it on rail.
Miss Dayton,
So-
your 5 minutes is up. I just want to let you
Oh,
know.
boy, it went quick.
It does go
But
quick.
that's how I feel.
Yeah, I
So,
appreciate it.
and we're gonna continue. I imagine all these people here came because they're really concerned and they're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Fight
Well,
'em.
I'll just say, there's nothing to fight. Council has, it's a done deal. It's over with.
That's good, because when we read that, it sounds like they're gonna continue.
Hold on.
So,
So, Mr. Markey, do you care to chime in on that for us?
Yeah, I had talked to Mr. DeHarpart earlier today. I know Mr. Harbert had been asking questions for our zoning inspector, and we talked about placing a moratorium on for the permits for new data centers in that zoning classification. So we plan to have that ready for the next council meeting. We couldn't get that done for today, but we plan to have that ready for the next council meeting. We know everybody's passionate. We know there's questions about what the company said. I think Mr. Harper is pretty clear in his statement. You know, whatever the company said, they're the property owner. They can pursue whatever rights they think they have. But I think our council has spoken. So,
Yep.
that's good.
yeah.
Just hold strong.
I knew that there were going to be a lot of comments on this subject tonight. So I just wanted to put it out there, you know, for you guys to hear from us and from them as far as I believe this body of council is concerned and the administration. When things happen like they happen for a reason. And the reason is there's not going to be one. So that's our stance on that.
Mr.
So,
President,
so I'll just ask council, you know, next council meeting, I'll actually be on a business trip. Mr. Herbert will be leading the meeting. But, when that comes to council next week, I just ask that we'd go through and we'd get it adopted and get that moratorium in place, in my absence. Mr. Towsley?
I do have a question, because everybody here is here for the obvious reason, and they're looking for answers that, frankly, we can't give you all the answers. We're learning as we go. But I want to make sure that we're not unintentionally misleading anybody.
Yep.
The fact that there's a company that already has a process started, will a moratorium affect that company?
Yeah, so a moratorium does not affect the pending application, but that application requires, as we said before, that an agreement has to come to this council to release the 2000 development. You know, there's all that legal stuff, but basically council would have to vote on that. And what I think Mr. Harpart's saying is at this point, council's not going to bring forward, and the administration's not even going to propose, and council's not going to bring forward an agreement.
Yep.
And I agree with that, but I just want you to know, if you hear what I just said, that's not, I'm trying to be clear with you.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that.
Yeah, we don't
that
want to
could be
mislead about the
said.
moratorium. Moratoriums only go forward. It doesn't impact things that happened in the past. So the company had placed a zoning application in, and they've gone to site, preliminary site plan approval. So they are in the queue, and that moratorium doesn't affect them. It would stop future applications. But the company's existing application has to come through council still, and that's what Mr. DeHarpar was saying, that it's,
For the agreement.
Yeah. So we have a safeguard kind of there that
Yeah.
we can lean on. Just be patient, understand how these things work, and we're learning how they work too.
Right.
It's been a crazy time for us and a lot of phone calls and stuff. So, if anybody wants to speak, I see some hands going up, but we have to respect the process of the sign-in process. So, I'm not trying to be that guy, but we'll move on to.
sounds like a lawyer.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not, but we'll move on to Angie Helmick. If you still wish to address council tonight, please come up. State your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
My name's Angie Helmick. Can I see your sign-in paper?
Yeah, you signed in.
My name's Angela Helmick. I live at 162 27th Street Northwest. My husband and I bought our home there in 2009. And I just want to say, I am proud and grateful to be a member of this community around me. This is what it's about. As I said, in 2009, we bought our home. In 2016, we got custody of our granddaughter. And she was starting first grade. And even though we live in Barberton, we put her in Norton Elementary. We heard great things. And it proved true, and we were grateful to Norton Elementary. And they served her well through 4th grade. And in the beginning of 5th grade, we took her out, and we put her in a private Christian school in Norton. She is now going to be graduating a year early as an honor roll student this coming year. But as I want to say, as a member of Barberton, and as Ed and Beth's neighbor, so again, a half-mile away from where this would have been and whatever it's going to be, it could have been data center. We, the people of Barberton, we still affect each other in Norton. We're literally divided by a dotted line on Cleveland-Maslin Road. And I've been shopping here since 2009. I shop at Acme. I spend an average of $150, if not more, a week. And over 832 weeks at $150 a week, that's $124,800 that I have spent in Acme alone. A minimum. I guarantee it's more than that. We also eat at Wendy's, eat at Arby's, eat at Funky Truck, Chipotle. We shop at Pet Supplies. We shopped at Zugari when they were here. I shop at Hallmark. We've been in the dollar store. We shop often at Ace. Again, the Norton schools, I usually go to Norton Post Office as opposed to Barberton Post Office. We eat at Giannino's. We go to Dayton's. We get our taxes done in Norton. We spend a lot of money in Norton. And that's just my home. So I'm sure there's a lot of homes here from Barberton that spend money in your town. So we're looking to all of you to be responsible for the community that you serve and the surrounding communities. And we thank you for listening so far. It kind of felt like we were ramming our heads in the wall for a minute. I kind of feel like if that guy had been on the up and up, that maybe this would have gone through regardless. I really pray that's not the case. Some of you we know personally, and we know your hearts, and they're good. And some we don't know at all. But I just pray you can consider the communities you're serving and the surrounding ones. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Helmut. Up next is Miss Lisa Pelton. Please state your name and address for the record, Ms. Pelton, and you have 5 minutes.
Hi, I'm Lisa Pelton. I live at 3694 Oren Avenue. I have lived there for 60 years and 4 months. Wow. My parents brought me home from the hospital there. My mom still lives on the property where she was actually born. It was divided up by my grandparents when their children got married. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I've got a giant print card. I was at the town hall meeting last Monday, and I wish I would have thought to ask how long the data center project was being talked about with Norton City officials, though it doesn't matter now. 2 of my favorite people at the meeting were the woman who looked at Norton City officials and said, "Shame on you." And my other favorite person, we all know who he is, James Helmick, who did the research and brought to light the lies that Dale Hobby was telling us regarding his education and litigation against him. There are many of us who have lost trust in our city officials of Norton. Why did it take a private citizen, we know who it was, but why did it take a private citizen to investigate Dale Hobby? An investigation that didn't require any special training. Someone running the city of Norton should have done this months ago, and it wouldn't have put all of us through what we've been going through the past 3 months. Maybe the next business person to come to town will be with a big proposal. Maybe there'll be a pedophile wanting to build a daycare. Let's do some background checks. To drive past Limestone Drive on Cleveland-Maslin Road, it really doesn't look like much. But once you realize the property is 92 acres and it touches the backyards of people in several neighborhoods, all I have to do is stand on my porch and go like that, and the whole property is right there. Let's do something positive for Norton. I guess you have something in the works for that area? I'm afraid to ask, but you know, how many sports fields would fit in there? It's 92 acres. I hear Summit Metro Parks is looking for land. Do something to regain our faith and trust in you. Do something good for Norton. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next is Miss Tanya Vanderveen. Good evening. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
Tanya Vanderveen, 3004 Union Street, Norton. Came to speak to you all this evening for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't necessarily have a direct dog in the fight with regards to the data center, although my home is about a mile from where it would have been. So I don't know if we would have been impacted by that or not. Be that as it may, very happy with the turnout at the meeting last Monday. I kind of wish that the community had supported those of us who came and fought against the KDA, Saint-Gobain, and Clinton aluminum issues that I fought tirelessly to protect the residents that affected. I'm here tonight to ask you to do one thing. You've heard what people are saying. Unless it's been changed in the last, let's say, 24 months, and I'm not aware of it, the current ordinance for the city of Orton, when their land is zoned industry, is that you can build 25 feet from the resident's property. That needs to be changed. The ordinance needs to be changed to allow a larger area of land. There's lots of parcels of land around the city of Norton that you're going to be bringing people in. One of them butts up to the back of my property currently. It needs to be more so that people don't have a business in their backyard. You heard loud and clear at the meeting last week, people did not move to Norton to have a business in their backyard. They moved to Norton because of the quiet, the tranquility, and the small town home feel. So I'm asking you to please take a look at that ordinance and make some changes. It would go a long way to instilling trust back into the residents that live here, and let people know that you are hearing what we are saying to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vanderveen.
Thank you.
Up next, Mr. Glenn Yasko. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
My name is Glenn Yasko. I live at 3717 Orr Avenue in Norton. I have a question. Who owns NES? I've asked this question in front of the Planning Commission, I believe. And I was not able to find out who is involved in NES. I reviewed Mr. Hobby stating that he was in partnership or in association with NES at that time. And that would have been the July 22nd Planning Commission meeting. I want to also thank you for recognizing the citizens of Sherman Heights. We've never, ever heard ourselves referred to as Sherman Heights. We were just always Sherman.
You're moving up.
Thank you. We thought so. We thought we got an upgrade.
It's what the tax records say. Sorry.
You don't want that.
But another thing, I am just speaking on behalf of myself and not for the group. I will start removing the no data center signs that I have personally posted to make our city a little more attractive.
Thank you.
Thank you for the outcome.
You're welcome. And up next is Mr. Rich Stokes. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Stokes. My address is 327 Lincoln Avenue in Barberton. I grew up in Norton, graduated from. First off, I want to thank you all very much for your service. I was able to speak with a number of you over the past week, a number of more that kind of caught in passing. Didn't quite get to speak with you, but I appreciate all of you taking your time to speak with me and educate me and give me the information and just your time. I feel that there's been a lot of misinformation spread about this. I mean, especially with that memo coming out from Quantum recently, but more about what control you all have over this. And I feel like it's gone both ways, both a lot of vitriol sent your way, even though it seems as though if this was all on the up and up, there's very little you could do to stop it. But I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if it's well known. And there's also a lot of praise coming your way, which again, not really something you could do. I am very happy to hear about the plans in place to put in the legislation next week and to not move forward with the current proposal. I, as has been described, am worried that it has gotten this far with what it did, and I feel like a lot of you were blindsided by all of this as well. And I feel as though that is lost for a lot of the citizens. Not only the effort that you guys put in to all of this and the time and everything that it takes out of your lives, but just that all of this information comes very quickly and you're a lot of times learning at the same time as we are. So thank you very much for all of that and for the resolution that has come. My question would be, are we able to put something in place, a level of vetting, a level of background checking in place where it's not a, well, that was no one's job situation, where it's not a, someone from the community has to find that information out situation? Because apparently right now there's not. And a lot of this I feel falls on the developer. The Langdon, I called them. They were very, they did not want to speak with me, but they told me that they run financials, but they do not run any sort of background checks on the people that they enter into these very large agreements with. And that is scary, and that scares me for other developers. And so I'm wondering if we can put something in place here so that we at least have that protection. Thank you.
We can look into that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Stokes.
Thank you all.
All right, now we will begin the committee work session of council and personnel and rules. This would be Ms. Lee this evening.
Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance number 99-2025, before I add it to tonight's agenda, I wanted to speak about it as an updating of the codified ordinance and bringing it into compliance with the city charter. Didn't we do something back in 2016, 18, 16?
The electorate voted in 2016 to have 3 vote or posting places. So all of our agendas and official documents are posted on the website, City Hall, and the Norton Library. And that was voted on in 2016.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So with that said, I'd like to add ordinance number 99, 2025 to tonight's agenda for its first reading.
A second.
There's a motion and a second to add ordinance number 99, 2025 to tonight's agenda for first reading. Will the clerk please call
Mr.
the
President,
roll?
I'm sorry, just for clarification, this is what we're already doing. This is just kind of
Yeah.
Cleaning up the
cleaning up
codified.
The codified did not match the charter provision, so we're matching the charter
Okay,
provision.
great, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Taslett.
Ms. Lee,
Yes.
Mr. Harbert.
Yes.
And I'll just say, if anybody doesn't want to hang out for the whole meeting, I'll give you guys about a couple minutes if you guys want to exit. Don't feel like you're being rude or anything.
You got a question, Doug?
You got a question on the left? They didn't sign in.
They,
They didn't.
you guys okay with that?
It's okay with
Yeah,
me.
we'll
Give us 1 second for the folks
let these
leaving.
people,
Yeah. Let anyone that wants to leave, leave.
You wanted to-
if you guys want to leave, go ahead and exit and we'll,
Sir, could you come up and sign in?
yeah, here, sign it, right? The sheet's full.
And I think, Don, I think she would like to speak also.
Another one?
Yeah, right there.
Uh-oh. We're gonna get a line up there.
We never thought we'd fill a whole sheet up.
We need
Use the
I ha-
back.
a
There's,
two-sheet kind of
We
day.
need a two-sheet kind of day.
there's one
Yeah.
right under the,
Are they running out?
yeah, it's right under the podium, there's a stack.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, no.
Over there's got
No.
There's like an enhanced buffer if it's next to residential. but Yeah.
I'll just remind the audience that these microphones are very sensitive, so whatever conversations that you are saying are probably being heard live. Don't say anything about anybody that you don't like,
Unless you want them to hear it.
unless you want them to know. Thank you. All right, so Randy Vandercleave? Van Cleve? Just state your name and address real quick for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
Randy Van Cleve, 370 31st Street, Northwest Barberton. Also 4500 South Cleveland, Maslin Road, Norton. You know, I was very concerned, being that I'm dead even with the spillway there. And, you know, I was thinking about it, and I'm thrilled that it's a no-go. But, you know, I kept couldn't get it out of my mind about the way it was zoned. Why can't we rezone it? Why does it have to be to where there's something big? I like the idea of ballpark, a park up there. There's a lot that could be done up there. I don't think it needs to be no tremendous buildings up there. I agree with Sue, living there my whole life. I don't trust anything in that mine. I know the government's here and they're gonna help. Well, you know how that goes. And I don't believe any of that. If they get their hands on that mine, and I think this whole area's got an issue. You know, and like he even said, nobody's been down there since '80. I went on a tour down there in like '78 or something. And it is massive. But come on, just look around the world. Look at in our own country. Can you trust people? Oh no, we're not going to use that. If they own that land or they're on there, I think it's bad. And I'd love to see it rezoned to where it can't be a business. Or maybe a small business, a mechanic shop, something that doesn't run 24 hours a day and that affect all the neighbors. You know, there's the real concern. What if? You know? If that mine wasn't there, I don't think it would still be bad, but the mine is an issue. And that's all I have to say. I think we ought to see about rezoning it, small business, you know, something to where we don't have to worry about, come on, I mean, they're building these things everywhere. But it doesn't need to be in the middle of all the neighborhoods.
Right.
There's a lot of barren land. Heck, PPG owns out there in Hametown and Vanderhoof, where the Lime Lakes were. Why couldn't they build it there? There's railroad tracks, there's water, and there's nothing out there. You know, just to shove it in the middle of a neighborhood just doesn't add up. And my concern is, it's really about the mine. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Up next is Michael McMath? Please state your name and address for the record, sir, and you have 5 minutes.
Michael McMath, 2800 Eastern Road. I live in Rittman. I have a lot of friends and family live in Barberton, and some that live in Norton. And when I found out about this, it really concerned me, because when I watched the video and everything, you could tell this guy looked like a used car salesman, especially come with an armed security force. What's he afraid of? He definitely wasn't straightforward with you guys. And the thing that's been bothering me tonight and recently is, you guys have said it's a done deal, but the planning commission still has to go through their thing and stuff like that. So why don't one of you guys do a motion, if someone seconded tonight, that you're not going to allow this business? Because you guys have the power to do that. And we as people need to hear you guys actually say it. The future, no data center, da-da-da-da-da. But it's on the books in the planning commission. So it hasn't been voted on yet. That's supposed to happen in a few days, if I've read that correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing's been
Nothing on the
nothing's
books.
been currently submitted to Planning Commission for final site plan.
And it's never came to council for any kind of vote. So I've heard a lot of people say council should have done more, but when it came to us and we started doing research and started talking to residents, that's when we found out. So it never even made it to council, nor will it make it to council for a vote.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and council people or something needs to actually state factual stuff that's going on, so people, because the internet's a monster.
That's
and
why, that's why I don't go there.
It'll grow faster than
Yeah.
you can ever even keep up with things. And people argue back and forth on their soapboxes all day long, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. When they were looking at that property, why didn't they apply for a conditional zoning permit? That would have had to send letters out to all the neighbors of that property to tell them this was going to possibly happen here, because that doesn't fit into the normal zoning of that area, even with industrial. That a data center is not listed as an industrial type of business. So that should have done a conditional zoning application, and then it should have had gone in front of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and then letters should have been sent out. Why wasn't that done?
Yeah, in an I2 zone property, that would be a permitted use, so it didn't require a conditional use permit for that type of use. I2 is the least restrictive zoning in the city.
So in your zoning book, it specifically states data center?
Doesn't specifically state data center, just like it doesn't specifically state a lot of different types of businesses that would be appropriate for I2. But
Well, that's the purpose of the conditional zoning permit. A lot of these things could be in there, but you still need to have to make sure the neighbors and everybody are okay with that. So that would fall on that
Yeah.
to be a conditional zoning
I don't
permit.
think the city could have won that argument personally. So it's just, yeah.
But it would have let the community know a lot sooner that this might have been
Sure.
happening.
And we can amend our zoning code. I know we're talking about,
Yeah.
looking-
We're in the
we're actually
process.
redoing our entire zoning code next year.
Yep.
And I know there's some ideas given tonight, and we've been
Yep.
talking internally about some ideas on what to put in place for zoning. But
just-
as it stands today, conditional zoning permit was not required.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that was one of my questions. So it's definitely not going to happen. There's going to be no data center, no matter what happens.
Council would have to vote to release the mine, and at this time, it's my opinion, and others can agree with me, that we're not gonna release the mine. We're probably gonna have legislation coming actually forward to hold the mine, right? For the property agreement extension. And that's a further protection, right? So that'll be coming too. So we're doing everything we can to ensure peace for you guys and that you don't have to keep going and dwelling on it. We don't want to keep ripping the Band-Aid off and getting people upset. So this council's doing the best we can with what we have, and we're trying to do it right by everybody, not, you know.
Thank
so,
you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'd just like to reiterate what Council President said. There was never a vote to approve. Some people, I think at the meeting, one person said, council's already approved it, it's a done deal. And then I had personal call being accused of taking bribes and our pockets being lined. I mean, come on. I'm not saying you, sir.
Well, no, that's the problem with
I'm
the
just
internet.
saying, there was so much misinformation that came out. The phone call that I got with the violent language, actually, was dreadful. And just, you know, sometimes you got to give us time to get things, to address them. I'm trying to ad lib while he's choking over here so he can get back.
Keep talking.
Would you
He might need another
agree-
bottle of water. But I would just ask, and I appreciate, I've said it numerous times, the data center group, totally appreciate them. They were fantastic during this, very respectful, understood we were doing our homework. I went back and looked at my notes. On 10-8, I asked for financial impact, what that would be. 10-9, that was posted to the website. 10-13, we posted the property information. We were still in the process of gathering information, which in my mind, the way I do things, I'd like to have all the information first, and then I want to, you know, make an informed decision at the end of that. You're already reading that you're taking money, and you already made your mind up, and you already voted it. It's just not. I just ask, please, give us time to get through a situation like this. I know we were all getting phone calls and emails, and that's fine. But just don't make accusations. Our families read that, you know. It hurts
Oh, I'm sure it
for
does.
someone to accuse you of taking a bribe.
Yeah.
Are you
It's
guys
not right.
considering legislation or resolution for the future that if something of this magnitude might want to come into play into the community as a business, allowing the public that's affected by it, which would be Barberton and Doylestown and the other surrounding neighbors, to have a vote to put it on a ballot?
I would say no, just like Barberton and Doylestown wouldn't give us a vote on anything that happened in their town. That's a totally different issue.
Yeah.
I think the process is the constituents talk to their council people, council heard you loud and clear, administration heard you loud and clear, but to allow other towns to have a say in what goes on Norton is not how the system's set up, and nor would anyone else give us the same courtesy.
Yep.
So,
I know the system isn't perfect, and sometimes people plan things that aren't maybe quite in the best interest of everybody. You know, if somebody wanted to build a nuclear reactor in Barberton, and for some reason they were thinking it would be okay, the fallout from that would affect you guys, but yet you guys would have no say-so in it. That's kind of the same factor that I'm trying to talk about.
I don't mean to be rude, but your 5 minutes is up like
5 minutes ago.
I took a few of
Thank
it, I'm
you.
sorry.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes.
to his point, I will just, because we aren't going to take a vote, but I will tell you that I do not and I will not support. So that's not a vote, but that's as much as I can say to support what he's saying
Yep.
myself.
And I'll agree to that as well.
And one more thing, I've been wrestling with this for days, whether I want to say anything or not, because sometimes silence is consent. And along the lines of what we've heard tonight, you know, I've gotten emails telling me I sold my soul to the devil, and how much money did I take? I just want to say for the record, I've been doing this for 12 years. I have not received one penny from anybody, nor have I been in a position to receive. If I wanted to receive a penny, I wouldn't even know how to do it. So I forgive anybody who said that about me, but I can't just be silent so that someone thinks, oh, they are taking something. I have never taken anything. And for my integrity, that's an insult, so that's fine. I can take insults, but for the record, I have never taken a penny, nor would I.
It's 100% accurate.
Yep.
For myself, and I'm sure everyone else up here. Doesn't happen. I'm Finance Committee Chair. It just doesn't happen, folks.
Yep.
Doesn't happen.
Ms. Lee?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I first of all want to commend this community. It was just amazing and heartfelt to see how everybody came together on this and let us know how you felt. I want you to know, I can't speak for the rest of everybody up here, but from me, I felt your concern. I took in consideration of everything and everybody that came to me and spoke to me about what they wanted or did not want. I had people from both sides. Some wanted it, some didn't. But I felt it's my job sitting up here to listen to both sides and not to jump into a decision without I didn't mind them coming here to address your questions and concerns. That was going to help me based on my decision, but I was getting a lot of people that wanted to come and demand an answer from me right then. That's not fair to you guys to do that. That's not fair. Let me sit down and take a look at the pros and the cons of what's coming to my community as well as yours. So I want to commend you, first of all, for the concern and questions that you brought before us, but like Mr. Tousley said, there were some out there that was just too aggressive. You know, we can't be pressured into making decisions that's going to benefit this city. We have to be able to take time and think and what's logic, what's not logic. So I do commend you, whereas I do commend you for, just being heartfelt. I just say that give us a chance. Don't expect us to come out there with a direct answer to you, because if it could be something that might blow up in both of our faces. Let us take our time. Let us listen to both sides. Don't demand that we do this or else. That's all I ask. I'm up here to listen. I've always wanted to advocate for my community. I've always wanted to do that, but I don't want to feel like I'm pressured into it or bullied into it. Please, let's all respect one another. That's the only way we're going to get ahead.
I appreciate those comments, Ms. Lee, and they say Rome wasn't built in a day, and it takes a good team, it takes a good community, it takes good leadership, it takes good council people, it takes wise decisions, and it takes listening to our residents. That's the most important thing that we can do, is listen to you guys, and so we want to honor you by doing that. So I had calls that people were, this is going to be great, this is going to be great. Well, they lived all the way on the other side of the town. Wasn't in their backyard. So there's good sides and there's bad sides to everything. But when we come together as a community and we come together as a council and we come together with the administration and we put the right things in the right places, that's been my thing for the last 4 years, the right developments in the right places to bring the right jobs and add to the community that we have here that we all love and adore so much. That's why I'm in this chair, because I love my community. The $7,500 I make, to get the threats and those, that doesn't matter to me, but to be here and be a voice for you guys is what matters to everyone up here. I know everyone up here really well. That's why we're here. So with that being said, we probably should go to the last resident, Miss Judy Foster. Please state your name and address for the records and
Norton, Ohio, 44203. Wow.
Wow.
Well, you know, we're all here because we have the same concern. My concern was I went to my neighbor and he said, oh yeah, I know all about this thing. We already have the union ready to go. We've been promised a 2-year contract. And I said, what? And I'm here tonight. I've been in Norton for almost 50 years. Came here because it was the quiet place to be. Got here and found out about the mine. It's been a journey. I do my best to do for this community on a regular basis. A lot of you know I work with the kids in the community. I do lots of little miscellaneous things quietly, go merrily on my way. I'm glad to be here. I thank each of you for your efforts. It is a hard job to sit in your chair, and everybody here is grateful for your contribution to this horrid issue that we have in front of us. Nobody wanted this, and those that did were after the money. Follow the money and you find the problem. We don't need the money. We can do something else. We never need the money if it's at the cost of us, our lives. That's all. Just wanted you to know the union has a job for 2 years.
She's still got 2.5 minutes.
You still have 2.5 minutes. You got anything else? Thank you so much. Again, at this time, if residents want to leave or hang out for the rest of the meeting, I'll give you guys a couple minutes to exit out if you want to.
Does that include us? Can we go?
Not you.
See ya.
Thank you guys.
all.
Have a good evening.
Good night. I'll be driving by in a little bit. It's Monday night. Good night. Good night.
All right, at this time, we will move back into the committee work session for planning and economic development. Item 1 is mine. This is for the Van Heining Glen.
Did we finish up the person?
Yeah, we did Miss Lease. We moved it.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
I forgive you. This is for the Van Heining Glen Tax Increment Financing Incentive District that we're looking to create. This will be on Kligsville and Maslin Road. This is the old Dayton Nursery property, or is this?
This one is 21 and 261. So this
Oh,
is
21 and 261.
21 and 261.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yep.
Tom Trevisano Development.
Oh, this is, I got them backwards.
Yep. That's no problem.
So this is for the new housing allotment that's it's all done and ready to go. So
Correct.
I don't know if anybody has any questions on this or not.
Yeah, I'll just note that this was same as the one you just moved for Brookshire Green, so very similar.
Yeah.
There's going to be a public hearing. Carrie asked if that could be on November 17th, so we could do them together, and it can. So we'll have public hearings for both ordinances on November 17th.
Mr. President, I do have some questions.
Yes, Mr. Towsley?
So this is essentially running sewer up 261, correct?
If the development agreement is signed, yes, that's the concept.
So, I just didn't have a lot of time to look this over
Yeah.
a lot. I've been a little preoccupied with data centers, but
Amen.
this says, just so you know where I'm at, it would be page 10 of our packet. It says that the developer intends to charge a water and sewer utility tap-in charge equal to $8,100 for each residential unit, and that's for water and sewer. Is that
That's in the allotment.
That's in the allotment, Mr. Towsley.
correct?
Yeah.
So is that per both, each?
That is the amount that Ryan Homes pays to contribute towards the utilities. So when they buy the lots from the developer, they pay a a charge basically to help pay for utilities. So the developer would extend water and sewer within the neighborhood itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ryan Homes, when they buy the lot, would contribute capital towards that. It used to be that you could have a developer build a line and then the city could collect money on behalf, and there's developer reimbursement agreements, and the Supreme Court doesn't allow that anymore for general public improvements. But within the neighborhood itself, that's really what's going on is Ryan Homes would be paying that charge, and then that would be paid over for those internal utilities.
So what I'm getting at, the long and short of it is, and again, I apologize if I missed it in here, I didn't see it. The residents on Route 261 who eventually will have to tie into this, what is their fee going to be?
We don't have that figured out yet, but there's a couple things there. One, the sewer line and the water line should be coming to council here pretty soon. The sewer line is down 261. That's getting paid for by the TIF. So that line is being paid and fronted by the developer and reimbursed by the TIF that's on those homes. So the homes through their taxes are paying for that, but we don't have the exact happens yet. And I don't want to mislead anybody. We don't have those amounts. Yeah.
But if a resident on 261 needs to tap in, are they going to pay just the benefit, or are they going to receive benefit from the TIF?
So you're asking how much are we going? Basically, you're asking how much we're going to charge them. Are they getting charged?
Right. In other words,
$1,800
Nash
for
Heights, they
them?
paid
Yeah.
upwards of $30,000 for their sewer that was forced on them. And for this new development to come in and then pay $8,100, and then someone on 261 to pay $30,000, I'd have a problem with that.
Well, it's
if that were the
$8,100
case.
plus the taxes that are being paid towards the TIF. I mean, they are contributing towards that sewer line for 30 years. There's 30 years of taxes that are going towards that. So I understand the point, and we can try to get some numbers and work on that, but it's not apples to apples necessarily.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess my biggest concern is there's residents on 261 who have no interest in sewer, and in the name of a development, at some point, they're going to be forced
Yeah.
to pay a large fee, and I want to protect them in any way I possibly can.
Yeah, can we look at setting that? Please hold your applause during the council meeting. Could we set that at like $8,100?
We can,
To
council
make
can
it
set it.
fair right across the board?
Council can set whatever level that they deem advisable. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take a look at that, Mr. Towsley. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Okay, I'm sure we'll have more discussions.
Yeah,
with you.
and the only thing I'll just add is, and I know we're getting into the nuance, but Nash Heights, they had that standing order from the Ohio EPA, which forced
Correct.
connections when the sewer was available. The properties along 261, the way the health department enforces now is as long as there's not a failed septic system, you won't be forced to tie in. So, or unless there was an EPA order, but there's not going to be any EPA order. So, so that's a little bit different. So it's hopefully when and if they want to be able to replace the septic or tie in the sewer, that's the decision that's available. But the answer to how much it costs, that's going to be a council determination. We can work on that.
Thank you.
Yep.
So no further questions. I will make a motion to add ordinance number 100-2025 to tonight's agenda for first reading.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to add ordinance 100-2025 to tonight's agenda for first reading. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. DeHarpart?
Yes.
Mr. Ader?
Yes.
Thank you. And moving on to Van Heining Glen Economic Development Plan. This is, I think this is originally what I was talking about, wasn't it, Mr. Markey?
So the economic development plan is just a required document that the city has to have to do it's the same neighborhood, but in order to do the incentive district, the TIF, you have to have an economic development plan. So they run together.
One
So
supports
one's
the
required
other.
for the other.
I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
Any questions on that, anyone? With none being, I will make a motion to add ordinance number 101-2025 to tonight's agenda for first reading.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to add ordinance 101-2025 to tonight's agenda for first reading. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. DeHarpart?
Yes.
Mr. Ader?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to service, Mr. Towsley.
Thank you, Mr. President. The first thing I have is ODOT consent legislation, and this is the replacement of the Johnson Road Bridge. The state of Ohio would be putting 100% of the bill. We just have to agree to allow them to do it. The only question I have, is there a timeline on this? Do we know when they would replace that bridge?
I don't know. We can find out from Mr. Bensley, but I don't know the answer.
And
to that.
would it be fair to assume they would be completely closing that bridge for a period of time?
We'll find out the details. Yeah,
Okay.
we just saw it pretty soon last week. It came in pretty late last week, so.
I mean, regardless.
Mr.
if-
Bensley will, he'll watch this. If he's not watching it right now,
Okay.
he'll get us an answer in the next day or so, Mr. Towsley.
Yeah, and if the bridge needs replaced, we want it replaced, and it's good that the state's paying for it. It's obviously going to be an inconvenience.
Mr. Towsley, I got a question. Is that one of the culverts we replaced at that bridge at
No,
Johnson?
This is a bridge.
I know it's a bridge that we're replacing, but it won't affect the culvert or anything that we did in that area?
It wasn't that close to the bridge.
It wasn't that close?
No.
Okay. I just know it was somewhere in that Johnson Road area that we did.
I think it was a little north of the bridge, or south of the bridge, I mean.
Okay.
But what we can ask just to verify.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So if there's no other questions, I will make a motion to add ordinance 102, 2025 to tonight's agenda for a first reading.
I will second. There's a motion and a second to add ordinance 102, 2025 to tonight's agenda for first reading. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Towsley,
Yes.
Mr. DeHartpart.
Yes.
Mr. Ader.
Yes.
And the second thing I have this evening is a concrete pad for the service department. Is anybody in the administration able to explain this a little bit exactly what it is?
So this pad is what the new gas pumps will sit on. And so instead of the city fueling at the bus garage with the school district, it will reverse going forward, and everyone will fuel down at the service center. And the reason for the request to waive the readings is because we need to get that concrete poured, and we only have a couple weeks to do it.
Okay.
And I'll just add too, I had a chance to look through that legislation at the Board of Control meeting. It was 300 square foot concrete square for where the pumps will sit. And there was an additional 1,700 square foot. So I would imagine that 1,700 square foot pad will be where like the buses and equipment would park, so it would prevent damage to like asphalt and other things like that from wear and tear.
And that's a total of $68,000 through Perrin.
Yes, sir.
So with that, I would like to make a motion to add ordinance number 103, 2025 for tonight's agenda for first reading with intents on waiving readings.
And I will second. There's a motion and a second to add ordinance 103, 2025 to tonight's agenda with intent to waive the readings. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Towsley,
Yes.
Mr. DeHartpart.
Yes.
Mr. Ader.
Yes. Item number 3, Mr. Towsley.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the wrong. Lintel repairs for the service department, and this came to our attention a little late today. Repairs are $11,520 through Profab. I guess it's pretty self-explanatory what it is. So if there's no other questions, I'll make a motion to add ordinance 104, 2025 to tonight's agenda for a first reading.
And I will second. There's a motion and a second to add ordinance 104, 2025 to tonight's agenda for first reading. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Towsley.
Yes.
Mr. DeHartpart.
Yes.
Mr. Ader.
Yes. And I think there was intent to waive the second reading on that, Mr. Townsend.
That's correct. That was in the original memo.
Yeah.
Wait, third, second.
Yeah, right. All right, moving on to matters referred. We did have Mr. Markey's contacting ODOT to determine the process to place a sign on the 76 exits for showing people about the Norton Veteran Memorial, so people would know there's some directions to come down and off the highway to be able to visit that reflection area. Consideration minutes. The regular city council meeting minutes of October 6th were approved as submitted. Reports from officers, boards, and commissions. Mayor Zita?
Thank you. I'm going to defer. I'll wait till at the end of the meeting, and I'll just make some announcements.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Lowry, anything?
Same for me, thank you.
Mr. Markey?
Nothing, Stephen. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to introduction of new legislation. Ordinance number 99, 2025. Ms. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer ordinance number 99, 2025 for its first reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance to amend section 220.01, public notice of the Norton Codified Ordinances to modify the locations for posting notices and declaring an emergency.
And that is the first reading.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. Ordinance number 101, 2025, that is mine. I'd like to offer ordinance number 101, 2025 for its first reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance creating the Van Heining Glen Tax Incentive District pursuant to sections 5709.40, 5709.42, and 5709.43 of the revised code and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. That's first reading only. Ordinance number 101, 2025, that is mine. I'd like to offer ordinance number 101, 2025 for its first reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance adopting an economic development plan for the Van Heining Glen Incentive District and declaring an emergency.
And that's first reading only. Ordinance number 102, 2025. Mr. Towesley?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to offer ordinance 102, 2025 for its first reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance providing consent to the Ohio Department of Transportation regarding the project designated as PID 119349, State Route 21 Bridge Replacement, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. That is a first reading only.
Thank you, Mr. Towesley. Ordinance number 103, 2025. Mr. Towesley?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to offer ordinance number 103, 2025 for its first reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance authorizing the purchase of concrete tank pad and pavement from Perrin Asphalt for the Service Department in an amount not to exceed $68,000 and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. It is my custom not to agree to waiving readings on a first reading because I want the public to have access. But understanding that we are now losing heat every day, I will make a motion to waive the second and third readings this evening.
And I will second. There's a motion and a second to waive the readings. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Towesley?
Yes.
Mr. DeHarpart?
Yes.
Mr. Ader?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Harbert?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance number 103, 2025.
And I will second. There's a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 103, 2025. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Towesley?
Yes.
Mr. DeHarpart?
Yes.
Mr. Ader?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Harbert?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinance number 104, 2025. Mr. Towesley?
Thank you. I'd like to offer ordinance number 104, 2025 for its first reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance authorizing the purchase of lintel repairs from Profab Incorporated for the Service Department in an amount not to exceed $11,520 and declaring an emergency.
And that is a first reading only with intent to waive the third reading at the next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Towesley. Moving on to introduction of prior legislation.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer ordinance number 90, 2025 for its second reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance to amend section 280 of the codified ordinances of the city to add section 280.02 to allow virtual meetings for the Civil Service Commission.
And that is the second reading.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. Ordinance number 91, 2025, that is mine. I'd like to offer ordinance number 91, 2025 for its second reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance creating a tax increment financing incentive district, Brookside Greens Incentive District Number 2, pursuant to sections 5709.04, 5704.42, and 5709.43 of the revised code and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. That's second reading only. Ordinance number 92, 2025, that is mine. I'd like to offer ordinance number 92, 2025 for its second reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance adopting an economic development plan for the Brookside Greens Incentive and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Second reading only. Ordinance number 93, 2025. Mr. Ader?
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer ordinance number 93, 2025 for its second reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute and deliver a renewal of an intergovernmental agreement for animal control services with the county of Summit, Ohio.
Second reading only.
Thank you, Mr. Ader. Ordinance number 94, 2025, Mr. Ader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Allow for ordinance number 94, 2025 for its second reading, and ask clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance adopting a revised public records policy in compliance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 149.43, and declaring an emergency.
That's second reading only.
Thank you. Ordinance number 95, 2025, Mr. Harbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer ordinance number 95, 2025 for a second reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance to amend and restate Section 1470, Comprehensive Stormwater Management of the Codified Ordinances of the City and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. That's second reading only.
Ordinance number 96, 2025, Mr. Harbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer ordinance number 96, 2025 for a second reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance to amend and restate Section 1472, riparian and wetland setbacks of the Codified Ordinances of the City and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. That's second reading.
Thank you, Mr. Harbert. Ordinance number 97, 2025, Mr. Harbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer ordinance number 97, 2025 for a second reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance to amend and restate Section 1474, erosion and sediment control of the Codified Ordinances of the City and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. That's second reading.
And ordinance number 98, 2025, Mr. Harbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer ordinance number 98, 2025 for a second reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance to amend and restate Section 1476, illicit discharge and illegal connection control of the Codified Ordinances of the City and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Second reading only.
And ordinance number 83, 2025, Mr. Harbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer ordinance number 83, 2025 for its third reading and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance to amend the appropriations for the current expenses of the City of Norton for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, authorizing amendments to the Certificate of Estimated Resources of the City for calendar year 2025 and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. At this time, if anybody on council has questions regarding this ordinance, everybody good?
Yep.
I'll go ahead and move to adopt ordinance 85, 2025.
83.
83.
Oh, 83, I'm sorry, wrong one marked. That'd be 83, 2025.
Yep, I'll second. There's a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 83, 2025. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Harbert?
Yes.
Mr. DeHarpart?
Yes.
Mr. Towesley?
Yes.
Mr. Ader?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Moving on to resolution number 84, 2025, Ms. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer resolution number 84, 2025 for its third reading, and ask the clerk to read it, please.
A resolution confirming the appointment of James Price to fill an unexpired terms on the Parks and Cemetery Board in the city and declaring an emergency.
Are there any questions regarding this?
I just have a comment. I believe Mr.
Well, I
Price.
was gonna wait, I was gonna do that,
Okay,
but that's
sure.
okay. You're
Go
fine.
ahead.
However
I'll
you wanna do
defer
it.
to you, Mr. Mayor.
No, that's all right.
I just wanted to recognize Mr. Price was here.
Okay,
And-
thank you.
And anything you have to add, that would be great. And say thank you for stepping forward.
Yep. We appreciate it. Did she make a motion?
No, I was waiting on everyone to finish. Any more? Okay, then I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution number 84, 2025.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to adopt resolution 84, 2025. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Harbert?
Yes.
Mr. Towesley?
Yes.
Mr. Ader?
Yes.
Mr. DeHarpart?
Yes.
Mr. President?
Yes.
If I may, Mr. Price is in the audience this evening. Thank you. That's
that's a
okay.
show.
Yeah, and we would like to thank him for the service that he'll be providing here for the Parks Department. And providing he gets confirmed this evening, he'll be sworn in tomorrow before his meeting.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you.
again, thank you for serving, sir.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
family service over the
Yes,
years. We
yes.
appreciate it.
Very cool.
Moving on to ordinance number 85, 2025, Ms. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer ordinance number 85, 2025 for its third reading, and ask the clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance revising the capital asset accounting policy for the City of Norton.
Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, then I move to adopt ordinance number 85, 2025.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 85, 2025. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Towesley?
Yes.
Mr. Harbert?
Yes.
Mr. Ader?
Yes.
Mr. DeHarpart?
Yes. And last but not least, ordinance number 88, 2025. Mr. Ader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer ordinance number 88, 2025 for its third reading and ask clerk to read it, please.
An ordinance authorizing the purchase of computer equipment and services for the police department from Talix in an amount not to exceed $21,591.
If there's no questions on this, I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 88, 2025.
I will second. There's a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 88, 2025. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Ader?
Yes.
Mr. DeHarpart?
Yes.
Mr. Towesley?
Yes.
Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Harbert?
Yes.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to public service announcements. Mayor Zita.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to, I got a couple of announcements. I would like to announce the Norton Firemen's Association presents its 35th annual pancake breakfast this coming Saturday, October 25th, from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Cost is a free will donation here at the Norton Fire Department. Basically, there's a number of sponsors. I'm going to take a minute and go through and read them. Acme Fresh Market, Summit Collision Pros, S.A. Communel, C.J. Dandemiller, Finney's Sports Bar and Grill, The Funky Truckeria, Pettit Auto Wash, Perfect Power Wash, Barberton Tree Service, Redwood Apartments, Sherman Provisions, E.L. Stone, Fred Martin Superstore, Mulch Makers of Ohio, Sheets 858, and Dirty Robber Food Trailer. Once again, I want to thank each and every one of them for their support to make this happen. We also have later on Saturday from 5 to 7, we have Trick or Treat throughout the city. Police and fire safety services will be out in the neighborhoods, making sure that it's safe for all the neighborhoods. We ask that if you're going to do trick or treat, that will be the time that it gets done. Also, there's a fire department has it's free smoke alarms. And it's free smoke alarms through the American Red Cross, which provides the smoke alarms for all City of Norton residents. There are a few requirements to apply. You must be a resident of the City of Norton. The alarms are required to be installed by Norton Fire Department personnel. A form will need to be completed at the time of installation. And then Chief, they've got on here, smoke detectors play a crucial role in providing early warning of fires, significantly increasing the time available for safe evacuation and reducing the risk of injury or fatality. Help protect your family by having a working smoke alarm in your home. To schedule for installation, you please call the Norton Fire Department, 330-825-3086. And then once again, to sign up for the quarterly newsletter, www.cityofnorton.org. That will help us help get information out to the residents as it comes available with the quarterly newsletters. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mayor Zita. Mr. Lowry, anything this evening?
I have two. The Columbia Woods concrete project is ongoing. It's a little bit slower than I had hoped, but there are times during the day when you cannot drive down because of the concrete trucks. So we are directing people to be careful, but they can enter through the one-way by the fire station. But it is narrow there, so you got to be cautious, wait, then come down when you have easy passage. It's probably going to be for another couple weeks, but we'll get it done. And lastly, the community center kitchen renovation is going very nicely. We moved a door, which makes the flow of the kitchen much better than it used to be. And I think council and the community is really going to like it when it's done in a couple weeks. That's all I got.
Thank you. All right, topics for next meeting? Anyone have anything that they'd like to see or discuss for next meeting?
And Mr. DeHarpart, just
Yes.
want to note that we'll have I know Mrs. Keener's not here tonight, so we're going to have the budget to council for the next council meeting on the 3rd, with intention to start readings after that, and passage in December. I know there'll be times for questions and answers, but the one on the 3rd will just be handing out introduction and, obviously questions to follow.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Markey.
Yep.
All right, non-agenda items, anybody have any non-agenda items?
I've got a couple.
Go ahead, Mr. Towesley.
I just want to bring some attention to, I assume council saw, and a memo that Chief McShane put out late last week regarding our community and Cider Fest, Touch a Truck, Town Hall, a political rally. And I couldn't agree more with what he put in his memo. So I appreciate his leadership as the chief. And if you get a chance to, I assume that's probably on the Norton Police Facebook page. If you get a chance to read the letter, it's very complimentary of the citizens. And I just appreciate him being in touch with matters like that.
Absolutely.
Also, I just have a question. I assume can't be answered on the floor, but I know Mr. Binsley's listening. Hametown Christian School and their digital sign to show that they have a school. We passed that in May, and I'd just like an update so we can get them.
He is watching, but the last update was probably 7-10 days ago, and it was back order on product.
Is there an alternative source that we can use to get this in before winter?
Yeah, I asked that question to Mr. Binsley, and he indicated ARL is who you would order from. They probably would have the best supplier relationship just because of how large they are.
Yeah.
They had initially, the signs were supposed to be delivered, they just were not, when the order came in, it wasn't the proper order. So
Yeah.
what came from the supplier wasn't proper, so.
Right.
I know they're trying to expedite it. We could try to get another update, but that was the update as of a couple weeks ago. Mr. DeHarpart asked me the same thing, Mr.
Yeah.
Towsley.
I just want Hametown Christian to know that we haven't forgotten them. And
Yeah.
We've not forgotten them. We're
we're
trying
trying.
to, there's only a few places you can get them from, and ARL, who's in town, is the people that do it the best, so.
Thank you.
And Mr. Harbert just brought up, what about the street marking? Because the streets weren't even marked, and they're supposed to be marked too.
We can ask about that. I don't know the answer
That
to
was
that.
part of the street marking program.
Because they were moving, they were moving
I
that.
least get
imagine, I
that part
imagine
done
that he
if we
wanted
can.
to probably wait to see the exact location.
Yeah.
But again, he is watching, so good question. He will answer that.
Just shoot us an email update this week.
Mr.
Sure.
Mr. Binsley, you owe us like 6 answers tonight.
I had asked that question a while back, and Mr. Binsley did say they wanted to put the sign in and do it all at one time.
Yep.
So,
Okay. All right, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Good night, everybody.